Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Small Business Live with me, Vicky Canham and Max. Today we'll be talking to Chrissy Mellinger. Chrissy is a authentic business activator and mentor, and she works with businesses to help them to get out their own ways. So let me add her in and then we can... Hi, Chrissy.
Hey, Vicky. How are
I'm
you?
good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
You're coming in from one of my favorite cities in the world, so Boston. I believe it's quite cold there, so I do start every session at the moment about the weather because of the changing seasons, but I believe it's very cold in Boston.
Oh, it's miserable. We've officially hit winter, and I'm not a winter person, so I'm already sick of it.
The feeling's mutual.
Yep.
It's not that cold in the UK today, but it's cold enough, and I'm not enjoying it. But,
Yeah.
So welcome. Could I give you the opportunity to tell us a bit about yourself and your business? I'm very excited to find out more about what being an authentic business activator is. So if you'd like to take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So I like to say I'm an authentic business activator because I don't work with my clients to hit certain income goals or to have a certain client retention as the main goal, because that honestly, at the end of the day, isn't always sustainable. It doesn't always feel like it's aligned with our vision. So I work with my clients to really build businesses that are sustainably profitable, not just high revenue, but profitable, sustainable, and aligned to what they want their lives to look like. We're entrepreneurs, but before we're entrepreneurs or business owners, we are human beings. Mm-hmm. We have wants and needs as humans to be able to bundle up and go for a walk and have fun lives in general. So that's really the authentic piece in business of what do I want in my life as a whole, and how can my business support that, instead of me constantly putting everything into my business and not really having a life at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's very important. And I think you touched on a really important one at the beginning. It's not just being high revenue, but actually making a profit. And I think certainly there's a lot of coaches you talk about the six figures, etc., and get very excited about it. But those six figures aren't actual in your money profits. So it's very important to highlight the difference between them. So
absolutely. And also, if you're only, I want to make a ton of money. Let's be clear about that. I want all of us to make a ton of money, but not at the expense of our sanity or our health or our wellness, our well-being overall. So yes, it's about the profitability side of it, because if you're working 80 hours a week, you might be bringing in a ton of money and you're shelling it out to go to doctor's appointments or acupuncturists or therapy and trying to figure out what's going on, that you're still having a mental breakdown. Or on the reverse side of that, you could be shelling out $50,000 in advertising. Still not really getting you what you want at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. That is a big one I hear is just people putting out a lot of advertising, spending a lot of advertising spend and not getting nearly the right return on investment for that. So the return on ad spend is quite a big one that we hear. I'm sure you hear it a lot. So, tell us what motivated you to start your business.
So I've been in business just over 3 years now. I come from hotel management. So I was in hotels for about 6-7 years, and it's an awesome industry. It's so much fun. You get to create these beautiful experiences for other people, but it's 24/7. And it is very much an industry of work hard, play harder.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which can be really fun, but also I had a lot of experience of, I was in charge of revenue management. So I was literally the person hitting the forecast and creating the budgets and all of that. I would get phone calls at 10 o'clock on a Friday night telling me to raise the rate by $20 on a Friday night so that we can maybe make an extra $100. before the next day. And I realized that there was so much more to life, that I did not want to be interrupted watching TV, being out, being asleep. And I wanted to do something more than just make a ton of money for somebody else. I wanted to actually have a life. Like, I didn't have the life I wanted, even though I had the title and the pay and the salary and like everything was great on paper. And I knew it wasn't just me. So the pandemic came and kind of shuttered the hospitality industry. And I took that as my golden ticket to get out, honestly, and just say, I'll take a really nice severance package, pay off my student loans, and go do something that feels like I am contributing not just to somebody's bottom line, but also to my own life as a whole.
Oh, I 100% agree with you. And it's so funny because the synergy there, I also came from the hospitality industry.
What did you do?
I was in food and beverage, but I think that the reason that I left was because it was you rooming guests who are paying your annual salary for a room. And that was, and you realize you're never going to have the same experiences as them staying in the industry. But yeah, it's a really fun industry, not to take anything away from it. It's a passion driven one, and it's one that I think you probably agree that you make friends that you would never make anywhere else, because nobody else ever understands what you've been through in the hospitality industry. But yes, well, those hospitality, and I think people who've started their own businesses are probably one and the same kind of things that what we endure. But yeah.
We're a crazy group of people who work in service and who work in our own businesses.
Wouldn't have it any other way. So, Chrissy, who are your target audience?
So I work with women entrepreneurs who run service-based businesses who have really big ambitions. I don't have a particular niche. I don't care, honestly, if you're a coach, a healer, an energy worker, or some kind of service provider. As long as you identify as a woman, you have some kind of service-based industry, and you want to massively change your life and the world, let's go. Let's build something amazing and sustainable.
That's epic. And what are your offerings around that particular group of individuals? What are you promoting at the moment?
Yeah, so I always offer one-on-one coaching, just because with my human first approach, there's a lot that we can gain from group, and I do have group offerings, but it's so highly personalized to your vision, your goals, and your life. I think one-on-one works really well for a lot of people. So I offer that, whether it's 1 month or 6 month packages. It's very customized as to what your goals are, where you are right now, and just what you want out of coaching. And then, because I do think that we learn so much from each other, and as human beings, and especially as women, we need to be in community. Like, we biologically are wired for community. I have a membership right now called Elevate that is all about coming together, focusing on ourselves as humans, as strategy, as all the different things that come together. So that is an evergreen, sorry. And that's an evergreen membership. And then in January, I'm actually launching Magnetic Visibility, which is a 4-week program to help women get more comfortable being visible, because that's one of the things that, you know, is absolutely critical to your business, but also brings up a lot of the fears of, well, what if I mess up my words, or what if I make a mistake, or, you know, they're going to make fun of the way I talk, or whatever it is. So it goes all into the mindset behind visibility, what is blocking you from showing up, and then also gets all of the strategies, because I don't push one certain strategy. I just show you what the options are so that you can figure out, again, your vision, your goals, what strategies work for you. So I'm really excited about that one. That's going to be a really fun, intense 4-week program.
A very necessary one. Whenever I mention TikTok to anybody, they cringe and hide. Do promise you don't have to dance to be visible on TikTok, but
and
people don't believe me.
You don't have to be all dolled up. You can be yourself. Like, it's okay. People want to buy from people. Yeah.
actually find that TikTok, it's well, there's really good engagement on it, but people who are not all dolled up tend to get the better engagement because people want to buy from real people. So, yeah, no, it sounds a really great program. And where would people find that?
So they can find that everything on my business is branded under my name. So everything is Chrissy Mellinger, chrissymellinger.com/magnetic visibility, or just check out the links in my IG bio. I've got everything there too.
Okay, great. So because you've been in business for a little while now, so you should have some really good insight into this question of what do you wish you knew before you started your business?
I think the biggest thing, I was really, really naive. I'm a rather cocky individual, confident to the point of arrogance at times. But I do wish I had known that it would be harder than I expected. I thought just because I had all these amazing degrees and I had spent all this time making all this money for somebody else that it would automatically transfer one-to-one. And a lot of it does. Like, the education is still there, the business knowledge is still there, but solopreneurship is very different than working for the largest hotel company that has all of the resources available to you. And there was a lot of pain and frustration along the way of, I should be there by now. I should be there, wherever there is. So I wish I had known that it's going to take longer than you want it to, and that it's okay, that it doesn't mean that you have failed or anything like that. Just reset the expectations and keep going.
That's good advice. I think certainly when I was doing my coach training, that there was a lot of this emphasis on build it and they will come, which is very cocky of the coach training organization to imply that, because that is absolutely not true. They certainly didn't mention things like SEO and all that fun stuff at the time, or that people who in the class who hated being in front of camera are going to have to go on camera, etc. So I think, yeah, you're absolutely correct. It's definitely harder, and it's harder to be found. So again, your visibility program is exactly what people need at the moment, and it's even harder, I think, because since the pandemic, more people are now in the online space, so it's cutting through that noise. And yeah, I think that's definitely a good point you make there. So yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
I went through a coach training program too, and one of our assignments every week was that you had to write in like what your activities were that week of what you were going to do to get business. And the recommendation was like 3 to 5 activities, which were send an email to everybody that you know, tell your friends and family. And it didn't really approach anything that most of us do nowadays, like you said, of SEO or your website or anything like that. So here I was thinking, oh, if I just do these couple of things every week, it's going to be fine and dandy, and it's going to magically grow.
And I'm going to have a business card, and I'm going to hand it out to everyone, and they're all going to work with me. And now I mainly use my business card in drawers to win the bar tab at the networking that we go to.
Yep.
Money well spent. I lost my train of thought there for a moment.
Sorry.
So if following on from that, what business advice would you have for somebody else who was an aspiring entrepreneur looking to start their own business, or even just thinking about it, just thinking this might be something I want to do?
Do it. As hard as it can be and as confusing as it can be, you can do it. Like, you can figure it out. I don't care if you have no experience doing it or if you've been doing something similar, go with it. Like that's the first thing I think, is believe in yourself, which is a really hard thing to do because societally we're not taught to actually believe in ourselves. We're very much disempowered through a lot of different things. The belief that you can build in yourself is going to be one of the most important things in business. The strategies you can learn, the skills, the technology, all of that, you can find a way, whether it's working with someone or Googling something or hiring, like outsourcing it. Believe in yourself. Build up that belief in yourself that you are capable, that you can do it, and that it's going to work out. That has been my biggest saving grace. That also, let's just be very honest here, isn't always there every day, right? It's not always there. But if you can have that belief in yourself, that conviction that says, come hell or high water, this is happening. I'm going to stick it out and figure it out, whether that is through journaling, whether that is through nervous system regulation, whatever practices you need to do to get that done. Stoke that belief in yourself every day. That's going to serve you so much more than all the strategy in the world.
Good point.
Not the traditional business advice a lot of coaches will give out, but that will serve you so much better than get really good at this skill set. That's all secondary. You have to have that conviction in yourself.
Yeah, I think the mindset piece is pretty big, and it's can be very hard when you're sitting at home alone and no one's responding to your emails, or no one's liking your posts, or you're not getting the followers that you expected to get. It can be very hard to carry on and stay attached to the bigger picture and the dream. So yeah, I totally get that. But it's like, yeah, it can be a case of going out and having to identify what the practices are that you need to use to build the self-belief. Do you have a favorite one that you like to use that helps you?
I like to dance. So I have struggled with the mind-body connection for a really long time. And there's so much that is held within our body of our strength, of our fears, good, bad, everything in between. So I like to, from a logic perspective, I like to write down and keep what I call an Attagirl file. One of my friends coined that, of all of the things I'm proud of, whether I've signed a new client, whether my open rate increased this week over last week, whether I tried out a new shade of lipstick and it looked really good on me, or I tried something, new in life that wasn't business related. So I keep that running file, and it's literally a Google sheet that I can access on my phone. I keep that running file from a logic perspective of, these are all the things that I have done well, or that I am proud of. Maybe I sucked at it, but at least I tried it, right? Like, at least I've tried it. So that's the logic piece. And then, because on really bad days, we can look at all the logic in the world and go, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Like, that doesn't matter. That was then. So then I like to move. I like to put on, for me, a lot of country music, or a lot of like rage music, like good old 90s Britney or early 2000s Britney, where you're just like jumping up and down kind of thing, and just dance and move the energy. And also realize that if I can still move my body, mm-hmm. and I can still have the littlest conviction to like close my blinds so that nobody can see me, but I can still do something that feels good for me, I can figure anything out. Like, I can figure it out. I can carve out 3 minutes in my day for me. The rest of it's easy.
So that aligns with energy work and looking at, like moving. Wait, what's energy goes well? What's well, I can't remember the saying now about the energy flowing and your attention going there. So,
yep.
So I mean, it's easy to, if you can't move the energy out of you, it's easy to get down on yourself about it. So, yeah, I think movement is a good one. I think I went to a Brendan Burchard. That's the second time this week I've mentioned him. I went to a Brendan Burchard conference in Arizona, and a lot of that was about getting up and moving. And he likes to jump around a bit. He reminds me of Jack from Jack 2000 from Will and Grace.
Yeah. He's like always bopping around doing things.
Right. So, do you have any final words of wisdom? I put you right on the spot there. Sorry.
I know you did there. That was good. I'm gonna go back and double down on what I said before.
Mm-hmm.
The strategies and the skill sets are all learnable, and there's also not a point at which you say, I have learned everything I need to learn about marketing. I don't ever need to learn something else. None of us, from smaller entrepreneurs all the way up to like Tony Robbins, right? Big name. We're always learning. There is no point that you say, I have mastered everything and I can coast, which can feel really frustrating because you're like, well, crap, I still have more things to figure out.
Yeah.
But it can also help kind of level the playing field of they're not better than me because they're making more money or they're further ahead. We're just at different phases in our journey. And by kind of leveling that playing field, it can take a lot of the fear out of, I'll never get there. Why would they work with me instead of working with this bigger name person or this person who has made more money or has a bigger following than me? The skills are learnable and you will learn them if you stay committed and obviously put in the work. But it comes back to, you have to believe in yourself that you are worthy and deserving and capable of doing it. So also take the skill off the pedestal. It doesn't matter if you're an amazing marketer if you don't believe in yourself. It doesn't matter if your product or your service is literally the best in the world. If you don't believe in yourself enough to raise your hand and say, hi, I have this thing that can help you out. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah.
So believe in yourself. And if you can't believe in yourself, find somebody who can and borrow it. If it's your spouse, your partner, or a friend, or a coach who can help you say, Vicky, today you don't believe in yourself, but I do. So girly, let's go. Let's get it done. Find yourself someone who can do that for you.
That's quite a good one. It's actually something that I was talking to somebody else about yesterday. Having things like co-working sessions. If you don't believe in yourself, get on a co-working session with somebody who does, so they can kick your butt across the line.
I love co-working sessions. They're so good. I love that.
Really good fun. So one more time, Chrissy, where can we find your programs and how can we link up with you to work with you?
Yep. So I'm on Instagram, obviously, at Chrissy Mellinger. My website is the same, chrissymellinger.com. You can connect with me, ask me questions. I love a good voice note. Most of the time I will respond via voice note versus text. So follow me on Instagram or find me on my website. I've got an email list. All the details are online.
Okay, great. I'll also put them in the show notes below, but it's just good for people to hear it from you too. So thank you very much for joining me. It's been lovely getting to know more about your business and you and finding out how you can support people. And I look forward to hearing about your visibility program and how well it's going.
Yes.
And
thank you so much.
And I also wish you and your family a really great festive season and a happy new year.
You too. And your baby in the back.
Yeah.
I keep seeing them in all your videos.
Yes, he likes to take part normally. He's fast asleep. So yeah.
Enjoy your
Have a good one.
holidays. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.